Highest heart, love. Animals speak. You know, I had to come and I had to. Thank you. I want to come out and give thanks from the beginning for the masters that have come before us, the masters that we have in our lives now. Highest heart, love. We had to. Thank you so much. Learning from another master. It's master time. Reading. And the new book that we are reading, As Animals Speak, by Ted Andrews. Learn the language of animals. The spiritual and magical powers of creatures great and small. We begin tonight. Highest heart, love. Thank you, Mystic Breeze. Peace. Thank you to your corner of YouTube, where we read books, learn, create poetry, and harmonize, unify. So, this is the one right here. This is another angle. See, the masters that I choose to follow in my life and to come in contact with were peaceful. They had their environment carved out and they understood their mastery. That's so important because when you can have that peace, right, you can create art at a whole nother level. Yes. Thank you for the likes and subscribes, everyone. Thank you. So, let's start with, I have this outlined right here. If you talk to the animals, they will talk with you, and you will know each other. If you do not talk to them, you will not know them. And what you do not know, you will fear. What one fears, one destroys. From Chief Dan George. Here we go. Reading mode. We're back on, guys. We're back on. Part 1. Symbols in the nature world. Realizing the visible bodies are only symbols of invisible forces, the ancients worshiped the divine power through the lower kingdoms of nature. The sages of old studied living things to a point of realization that God is most perfectly understood through a knowledge of his supreme handwork. Animate and inanimate nature. Every existing creature manifests some aspect of the intelligence or power of the Eternal One. Welcome, YouTube. We're back into reading mode. Happy May. Ted Andrews, Animals Speak. Let's go. Chapter 1. The spiritual and magical roles of nature. Master Ted Andrews. Chapter 1. The spiritual and magical roles of nature. There was a time when humanity recognized itself as part of nature and nature as part of itself. Dreaming and waking were inseparable realities. The natural and the supernatural merged and blended. People used images of nature to express this unity and to instill a transpersonal kind of experience. In the past, shamans, priests, and priestesses were the keepers of the sacred knowledge of life. These individuals were tied to the rhythms and forces of nature. They were capable of walking the threads that link the invisible and invisible worlds. They help people remember that all trees are divine and that all animals speak to those who listen. The early priestesses, magicians, would adopt the guise of animals, wearing skins and masks to symbolize a reawakening and endowing of oneself with specific energies. They performed rituals in accordance with the natural rhythms of the seasons to awaken greater fertility and life. To them, every species and every aspect of its environment had the power to remind them of what they could manifest within their own life. It was an aid to bridge the natural world to the supernatural, awakening the realities of both within the environs and their own lives. Hi, it's Heart Love. Welcome. Through these rituals and behaviors may seem primitive and even silly to the rational minds of modern society, they are no less powerful today. And the laws which govern them, physical and spiritual, are no less viable. Different societies express these laws in their own unique ways, but probably the most distinctly expressed is the ancient Hermetic law of correspondence, as above, so below, as below, so above. This principle teaches that all things are connected and have significance. We cannot separate the physical from the spiritual, the visible from the invisible. This principle gives one of the means of solving many dark paradox and the hidden secret of nature. The ancient Hermeticists considered this principle as one of the most important mental instruments by which man was able to pry aside the obstacles which hid from view the unknown. It enables man to reason intelligently from the known to the unknown. It is for this reason that a study of nature totems is essential for understanding how its spiritual is manifesting within our natural life. A totem is any natural object, being, or animal to whose phenomena and energy we feel closely associated with during our life. We can use animal imagery and other nature totem images as a way to learn about ourselves and the invisible world. We do not have to believe that these images and totems are beings of great intelligence, but there are archetypal powers that reside behind and oversee all manifestations in nature. These archetypes have their own qualities and characteristics, which are reflected through the behaviors and activities of animals and other expressions of nature. When we pay attention to and acknowledge a nature totem, we are honoring the essence that lies behind it. We are opening up and attuning to that essence. We can then use it to understand our own life circumstances more clearly. We can share in its power or medicine, nature totems. Especially animals are symbols of specific kinds of energy. We are manifesting and aligning within our life. The animal becomes a symbol of a specific force of the invisible spiritual realm manifesting within our own life. The characteristics and activities of these totems will reveal much about our own innate powers and abilities. By studying the totem and then learning to merge with it, we are able to call upon its archetypal energy whenever needed. Yes. Terrestrial animals have always had a strong symbology associated with them. They have represented the emotional side of life, often reflecting qualities that must be overcome, controlled, and or re-expressed. They are also symbols of power, powers associated with the invisible realm that we can learn to manifest within the visible. Birds have often been considered the symbols of the soul. Their ability to fly reflects the ability within us to rise to new awareness, bridging the earth and the heavens. As totems, birds each have their own peculiar characteristics, but they all can be to stimulate greater flights of hope, inspiration, and ideas. Aquatic life created by water. Water is an ancient symbol of the astral plane and the creative element of life. Various fish and other aquatic life symbolize guidance to specific expression. The, the masked sorcerer. Page 3, we're at the bottom. If you see, guys, we're reading Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel Neville Riley. Thank you guys for being here. Highest heart love. The masked sorcerer, a prevalent symbol associated with shamanism. Its image is taken from a prehistoric painting. Early man, surrounded by mysterious forces, responded to them through imitation. Man attempted to bring the divine in accord with humanity. Priests used totems and images to assist in coming face to face with the mystery. Through dance, costume, and so forth, the priest or priestess would take complete identity with the deity and its powers. This is the symbol of the prophet, medicine person, and the manifestation of the powers of nature. Images such as this invoke a presence which helps one to transcend the physical. Wearing the skins of the animals was a means of appeasing its spirit and honoring its power. Yes. Insects are also a part of nature, and they can be totems for us as well. From the bee of fertility in Egyptian myths to the mantis of the African bushman, to the many tales of the Spider Woman who created the universe. They hold a dynamic place within the spiritual scheme of nature. By studying and reading about the animals, birds, fish, insects, reptiles, etc., you encounter in your life, you can understand more about the circumstances you also encounter. So, you can learn much about the kind of energies you are most likely to confront and those you are most able to manifest within your own day to day life circumstances. You will learn how to draw upon those energies most effectively in dealing with life situations. Nature has bestowed upon its inhabitants a natural ability for adaptation. This enables the animal to live in a particular place in a particular way. There are both physical and behavioral adaptations. A common example in the manner in which some animals may adapt to the cold, either through growing thicker fur or even migrating. An animal such as a mountain goat has a dynamic adaptive ability for surviving in its mountain environment. Its feet are developed in such a manner that they can grip more strongly and securely. It also has more red blood cells, which assist in its surviving the colder temperatures in the mountains. By learning how our totems adapt to survive can assist us with our own lives by applying those same principles to our life circumstances. Hi, it's Heart Love. Welcome. Thank you. This is going to be amazing, so true and deep. This is how I knew my significant other was going to pass away. That's deep. Hi, it's Heart Love. That's real. Yes, we know before it happens. Cycle of life. Hi, it's Heart Love. It also has more red blood cells, which assist in it surviving the colder temperatures in the mountains. By learning how our totems adapt to survive can assist us with our own lives by applying those same principles to our life circumstances. This book's purpose is fivefold. One, it will help you determine your nature totems. Two, it will help you in learning how to honor, attune, and invoke their energies more effectively into your life. Three, it will help you in applying the skills and adaptive powers to your totem to your own life environment. Five, it will help you to learn the language of nature, physical, spiritual, and magical, as it speaks to you every day. To read and apply what it says through signs and omens, and in doing so, help you to develop a greater reverence and respect for all life and greater power and control in your own. The true shaman, the true naturalist, works to reconnect conscious human life with nature and spirit through totems and ritual. The images of the animals and the expressions of nature help us to transcend our normal waking consciousness so that we can move us easily attuned to ethereal realms and beings. The first step begins with realizing that all vision and imagery originating in nature or the inner mind has validity on some level. Here we go. This is page 5. We're learning the language of animals. Identify, meet, and attune your spirit animals. Discover the power and the spiritual significance of more than over 100 different animals, birds, insects, and reptiles. So you see a camel, a rabbit, kangaroo, a leopard, a deer, a moose, a wolf. The symbolism of animal totems, characteristics, and activities of these specific animal forms and images will reveal much about our own innate powers and abilities. Page 6, and the conclusion of chapter 1. Honor and love. Thank you for being here. Highest heart love. Thank you guys. We'll be we'll be reading this one for the next month. What gets most of us into trouble is interpreting what is seen in the mind or in nature itself. Reading, studying, and learning about what you see and experience is what will facilitate relating them to yourselves. Don't accept nature totems without question. Put them through the verification process that you will learn later in this book. Don't discard a totem simply because it may not seem glamorous or as powerful as your ego wanted. The totem may be quite appropriate for empowering your life. Sometimes it is only through study and exploration of the specific totem that its significance will become clear. Remember that searching out our significance of nature's expression to you is a way of honoring it. Yes, honoring it. Humanity has lost that instinctive tie to the rhythms and patterns of nature, and with that loss has come a loss of reality, of magic. Nature tries to show us every day that all forms of life can teach us. As we learn to listen to nature, we break down our own outworn perceptions. We find that magical creation is the force of life inherent in all things. And it is this, above all else, that nature teaches to those who will learn from her. And that concludes chapter 1 of Animal Speak, showing the owl, nocturnal owl. Learn the language of animals in Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel Riley. Thank you so much for being here. We will pick back up, continue. With our new reading. Hi, it's Heart Love. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Animal Speak. We did it. Passing on the baton. You know, we see these animals and we encounter them in nature, and it becomes something that we can honor and choose to honor, right? Or we can say it doesn't mean anything. Shining the light on it brings it out. So we say it does mean something, right? And that's what's most important when we are passing on information, is being able to see things in detail and say, wow, look at this. What's that sound? Oh, that's loud. Oh, that's what that is. It's a woodpecker. Oh, those birds are all flying and curving dynamically all in the sky, and they're loud, and oh, those are parrots. How many parrots, right? Start counting. I love y'all. Thank you so much. We are on to the next level of mastery. A mastery that deals with mastering our environment, harmonizing with it, right? Deer are my favorite animal. They make me feel such peace when I see them. I feel the same exact way. Oh my goodness. I love that, Mystic Breeze. Yes, I love deer. Deer was a part of my early totems growing up in New Jersey as well, especially in South Jersey. Yeah, populated by a lot of deers. I wish y'all a wonderful rest. We're going to go to the green cloud. Happy May. Remember, look up. See what you see. Take a walk. What resonates with you? You know, we're at a new level. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, it's Heart Love. We're on to the next reading. Chapter 2. Yeah, tomorrow. All right. Peace, peace. By Bay Birthstone, Emerald Green. And you know what? That is so powerful. I wear a peridot for August. My daughter's birthday is in May as well. My grandmother, maternal grandmother, Grace Calloway. Maze Bennett. Hi, it's Harlow. I'll see y'all soon. Peace, peace. Thank you. You're the best. Thank you for modding.